Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to FirstEnergy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at FirstEnergy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and we've got an AFC North tilt here. And this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're getting ready for their first drive here on offense. Gives us a chance to talk about their Week 6 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. Gets them to 2-4, which may not sound great, but it keeps them sort of alive in that AFC North race, Charles. And, hey, Devlin Hodges, first NFL start, and he got the job done.
He did, and he did what they asked him to do, which was take care of the football and not put them in adverse situations. And the defense did the rest. They were so strong right from the first snap. Hodges 15 of 20, 132 yards, a touchdown, and interception. But don't forget, Mason Rudolph may be able to return for the next game after their open week in Week 7.
And if you watch the game, and Charles, I know you did a lot made during the broadcast of he and his dad actually heading to Saskatchewan during the open week. Between
that and duck calling, we got a lot of that information about the Hodges family. Quack, quack.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Rudolph. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's a keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. On second down, Samuels. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch it back.
From the red zone now, Rudolph. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
When you're the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft of 2017, puts a little extra scrutiny. Defensive end Myles Garrett is certainly used to it. In 2018, came into his own his second year in the league with 13.5 sacks and really expects to increase that total in years to come.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Rudolph looking to throw it. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 yards there and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive going to plan so far. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Again, it'll be Connor. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And this will be play number 10 on this pretty long opening drive. Here's third and goal. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Mack Wilson with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
Well, it's up about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So on fourth down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's Cleveland's offense under the guidance of quarterback Baker Mayfield. Week 6, lost to Seattle 32-28. Back and forth game. Baker Mayfield 22 of 37. So not the best completion percentage. Did have a passing touchdown and also his first rushing touchdown of his career.
But when you think about what's happening with him and Cleveland, so many great plays. The problem is turning the ball over. All those interceptions he's thrown. He threw 3 more against Seattle. And it reminds me of what an offensive coordinator told me recently about what he tells his quarterback. I want you to be aggressive, but I want you to be smart. You figure out where the line is.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now this is Callaway on the receiving end, and they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And maybe shades of the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again.
Hit.
Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. So now facing a 3rd and 16 following back-to-back running plays that went in the wrong direction. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Steelers making their way back out. And that Week 6 victory over the Chargers, we mentioned it was Devlin Hodges' first NFL start. He's their 3rd quarterback, maybe really even their 4th if you consider that they traded Josh Dobbs, but they really leaned on the running game and some short passes in that victory.
Yeah, and the running backs became a big part of everything, as you mentioned, running the football, but also catching out the backfield. James Conner, you expected, but welcome to the party, Benny Snell, the rookie out of Kentucky who was a workhorse back in the Bluegrass State and got some good run out in California on Sunday night. So without Big Ben, passing game, a little more utilitarian. The tough part is Juju Smith-Schuster, who should be their top receiver, just 1 catch against the Chargers in a homecoming game.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Set, ready? 15, run. 15, run. Key to tight end, key to tight end. Hey. 4 down.
Rudolph on first down. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. On first down, it's Samuels. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I got you.
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. A gain of 6 there on first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, it's Connor. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Now that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
Here we go. 18, Gator. 53, Mike, 53. I got you.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
So we got man.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Let's go now. 30 base.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington there to make the grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
to James Washington. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Makes the score Steelers 10.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Browns offense coming back onto the field here. We mentioned earlier their loss to Seattle in Week 6. Back-to-back losses now. And you think about it, Charles, at this point last season, the Browns actually had a better record than they do right now at 2-4.
Hard to believe. And remember what we said in preseason, that these Browns and their fans, it's not the lovable Browns and, oh, we have low expectations. If we got to this point and they weren't playing well, might be a little bit ugly in Cleveland right now because things have really jumped in where they expect this team to be. They haven't won a game at home yet this season. And how about the upcoming schedule? They get the open week, and they need it. Then things really start to jump up. At New England. At Denver is playing much better on defense. And then they host Buffalo, one of the surprises of the season in the early going.
Mayfield trying to get him up to the line as fast as he can. Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield, he'll let it go deep. It got his man complete. That one good for 37 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Demetrius Harris, 33 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Rudolph now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage is coming through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
180! Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Done.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield, he gets it complete to Harris. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And boy, they hit that one.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mayfield off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Powers through him. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 23.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They run it again with Chubb. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
180! All day, dog.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They set up the screen to Chubb. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. From the left hash, this from 37. Seibert's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13 to 10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down. And with that incompletion, let's do something different. I'm going to go through a few teams that are on losing streaks, and you tell me if there's reason for concern there. Let's start with the Cowboys.
Definitely reason for concern. Not as dominant on defense as they should be, and offensive line injuries.
3 straight losses. They're 3-3. How about the Chiefs? 2 straight home losses.
Yeah, they just can't stop anyone running the football.
Okay, and then the Rams, 3 straight losses for them.
Yeah, definite reason for concern because they cannot get the running game figured out. Todd Gurley not touching it enough, but Kenny.
And then the Browns. Everyone was so high on them before the season started. What about now?
So many expectations, That's part of the problem they have right now, but they still would be contenders in their division.
Quickly back to the Chiefs, though. Are you concerned about them? They're still a real contender here, aren't they?
Still a contender, but I'm concerned as heck on defense for anyone who wants to be committed to running the football.
Come on, set, 8, read. Check, 53 is mine. Watch the out, watch the out. Big grip.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Set, ready, 60 Pittsburgh. We got it. Ready.
Again, a run with Connor. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ricky.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. This is Johnson, he's got it. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
This quarterback now, pretty remarkable. 14 of 15 through the air, only 1 incompletion, and another 1st and 10 here. Complete to Washington. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to the air, Rudolph. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, Rudolph. Going for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Boy, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Boswell's kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. Now Mayfield lost the football, but I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, we got time right. 3 down.
To throw, Mayfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Rudolph. Looking sideline, incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
2nd and 10, Rudolph again. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Following the interception, Mayfield, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And again, it's Mayfield. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. He finds Beckham, complete. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was trying to force it into his receiver, Landry, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
On second down, Mayfield again. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Devin Bush in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Here's Mayfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. He gets it complete to Harris. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. It's brought in by Harris. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. That one is caught by Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Mayfield. And it's caught. Beckham. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right, just one more element to complete the victory. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Seibert on for the PAT. And they have got the lead. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
53, 9:53. Hey, let's get this. Ready?
Rudolph now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One last throw here for Rudolph. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.